Over the past decade, British politics has settled into a condition where prime ministers appear almost transient figures, their authority shadowed from the moment they take office. Major decisions are repeatedly deferred, tax reform stalls in the face of entrenched interest, and loud pledges on social protection gradually fade before they are ever realized. Step by step, politics has come to resemble less a system of governance than a theatre of rivalry, internal fracture, and personal contest. Though this picture may feel distinctly contemporary, it echoes an earlier European experience, the French Fourth Republic, a period marked by instability, frequent changes of leadership, and policy paralysis, which ultimately gave way to a new constitutional order under Charles de Gaulle. In Britain, too, recent years have seen the center of power at 10 Downing Street pass through an unusual rapid succession of occupants, from David Cameron to Theresa May, Boris Johnson, Liz Truss, and Rishi Sunak, and into the current political phase. Continuity has been overshadowed by a persistent sense of churn. The issue is not merely turnover at the top. Each new prime minister brings a reshaped cabinet, a revised circle of advisors, and shifting priorities. As a result, long-term policy often fails to move beyond its earliest stages. Sectors such as pensions, healthcare, and infrastructure, where continuity is essential, have instead become particularly vulnerable to disruption. Under Theresa May, this fragility became especially apparent. Although her early agenda touched on issues such as social inequality and broader domestic reform, government attention soon narrowed almost entirely to the Brexit crisis. The wider governing vision was steadily compressed into the politics of survival. A similar strain was visible under John Major when political instability increasingly constrained the government's capacity to pursue coherent policy and statecraft became more reactive than strategic. Economic stagnation has further deepened this political uncertainty. Since the 2008 financial crisis, productivity has remained subdued and pressure on public services has grown, while structural reform of taxation and spending has largely stalled. Even widely stated ambitions such as increased defense spending have struggled to find a stable fiscal and political foundation. Yet the roots of the crisis are not purely economic. Contemporary Britain is shaped by overlapping divisions, post-Brexit political identity, conflicts over Gaza, generational inequality, and broader cultural value clashes. Within this fragmented landscape, the construction of stable governing coalition has become increasingly difficult. Boris Johnson attempted to bridge these divides through his levelling up agenda, designed to reduce regional and economic inequality. Keir Starmer, by contrast, has adopted a more cautious posture, avoiding bold economic transformation in favor of a more restrained approach. The result, however, is a continuing difficulty in assembling a broad and durable political coalition. The political environment in Britain has therefore reached a point where promises to end the chaos carry diminishing credibility. Yet history suggests that prolonged paralysis is not permanent. In France, constitutional restructuring eventually restored the capacity for decisive governance under de Gaulle's new settlement. From this perspective, the question for Britain is not how to escape politics, but how to make it function again. Ultimately, major change does not emerge from rhetoric alone, but from continuity, planning, and the sustained willingness to take and implement difficult decisions.